A lie that is absolutely destroying millions of us. It's the lie that you have to be someone else to be worthy of love, of success, of happiness. Well, today we're going to tear that lie apart. We're going to find out the shocking truth about what happens when you finally stop running from yourself. And it all kicks off with one single staggering number.
$47,000. That's how much a 24-year-old woman spent on plastic surgery. We're talking 5 nose jobs, lip fillers, cheek implants, the whole shebang. A complete physical transformation. She thought this would bring her praise, happiness, but what she got instead? Something so much more terrifying.
6 months after all that surgery, she's sitting alone in her apartment. She catches her reflection in the mirror and just whispers this one question. Who am I? She had literally become a stranger to herself. And that right there, that's the end game of this lie. A total loss of who you are. And it all begins inside a prison that we build for ourselves.
Okay, so how on earth do we even build this prison for ourselves? I mean, it doesn't just pop up overnight, right? No, it's this slow, quiet process that gets started the moment we're taught that who we are just naturally isn't quite good enough.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You were born 100% yourself. As a baby, you didn't look in the mirror and compare your thighs or your personality to the baby next to you. There was zero self-criticism, just being. But then, slowly but surely, the world starts to whisper.
And this timeline, wow, it really breaks down how that little critical voice just grows. See, at age 3, you're golden, pure you. But then maybe by age 8, some careless comment from someone plants that first tiny seed of doubt. By 15, you're an expert at hiding the parts of you that you think are weird or wrong. You're learning to perform. And today, for so many of us, it's a full-time performance. We've almost forgotten who the actor is underneath the costume.
And that daily performance, man, it has a staggering cost. This isn't just some little act we put on for a bit. Oh no, it's a constant, draining, exhausting battle that bleeds into every single part of our lives.
Does any of this sound familiar? Yeah. This is the soundtrack playing in the head of someone wearing a mask. You can never truly relax because you're always on guard, constantly monitoring yourself, editing your words, your laugh, your very being. It is just completely and utterly exhausting, isn't it?
Now, what's so powerful about looking at it this way is the incredible contrast it shows. On one side, you've got the performance, the polished, rehearsed version of you that's desperate for approval. And on the other side, that's the real you, your actual thoughts, your sensitive spots, your quirky, weird interests. And the gap between these two, man, that's where loneliness lives. You can be in a room packed with people and feel totally alone.
And someone put it this way, which I think is just perfect. You're constantly comparing yourself to everybody else. Their successes, their looks, their confidence. But it's a race you can't ever win. Because no matter how fast you run, there's always someone who seems to be ahead. The whole game is rigged from the start. So, what finally breaks this insane cycle? Well, for most people, it's not some gentle awakening. Nope, it's a crisis. It's a breaking point. That moment where the performance just becomes completely impossible to keep up. And for that woman we started with, this was her moment. She was walking through a mall, saw her reflection in a store window, and had a full-blown panic attack because for 5 whole seconds, she thought she was looking at a complete stranger. That's when it hit her. I destroyed my own face trying to be beautiful, and now I'm not beautiful, and I'm not even myself. And look, this kind of crisis, it can show up in a lot of different ways. Maybe you get that dream job and you feel nothing, just empty. Or someone loves you, truly, unconditionally, and it makes you realize the only person at war with you is you. Or maybe you just hit a wall of pure bone-deep exhaustion from all the pretending. But here's the wild part, the real paradox. The breakthrough doesn't come from fighting even harder. It comes from surrender, from just giving up. Not giving up on life, no, but giving up the war against yourself. And in that quiet moment of surrender, when you stop trying so damn hard to be someone else, something pretty extraordinary starts to happen.
And that surrender, that's where the journey back to you really begins. Now, it's not easy, okay? And it's definitely not comfortable, but it is the only path to real freedom. It's a reconstruction process, almost like you're meeting yourself for the very first time.
So what does that actually look like? Well, it kind of breaks down into 5 key steps. First, you have to admit the uncomfortable truth. I've been running from myself. Then you take an inventory. You ask yourself, what do I actually like? What do I think? You start with tiny baby steps of being authentic. Then you prepare for the pushback, because, yeah, some people preferred the fake you. And then, slowly, one step at a time, the real you starts to emerge again. And a huge piece of this puzzle is getting what self-acceptance really means. Because it's not about giving up or settling. It's this incredibly powerful idea: I am enough right now, in this moment, flaws and all. And I am also allowed to grow and change. It's about holding both of those truths at the exact same time. And you can really see the difference in how you talk to yourself here. That harsh voice of self-rejection that says, I'm a failure, it shifts. It becomes, okay, I made a mistake, but I'm learning. It goes from, I'm disgusting, to, I want to be healthier, and I'm worthy of that right now. It's a total game changer.
So, what about the woman who started this whole story? Well, she started therapy. She got off Instagram, and she began the long, painful process of accepting her new face and herself. And this was her incredible realization. Spending all that money to become someone else was easy. The hard part? Learning to be herself again. But it was the only thing that ever felt real.
Okay, so all of this, it brings us right here, to you, right now. Because there's a choice waiting for you, a really fundamental decision about how you're going to live the rest of your one precious life. And really, there are two paths in front of you. You can stay on path one, the war. You can keep performing, keep hiding, keep running on that treadmill. Or you can choose path two, the peace. You can choose to be your messy, imperfect, wonderful self. You can find the people who love that person. And you can finally discover the peace that was never out there to begin with.
Because here's the secret to all of this. The one thing I really want you to take away. That sense of peace you've been chasing in promotions, in relationships, in likes, it was never out there. It's been inside you this entire time. Just waiting. Waiting for you to stop fighting yourself and finally come home.
So, at the end of the day, the choice is yours. The peace is waiting. The only question left is, are you ready to stop pretending?